let us all do we can to build a better future. So let's get this article from RT America. Don't tell Rachel Maddow. She might go crazy. She'll be like, Russia. Oh no. Well, Trump chastises the Washington Post, Democracy Dies in Darkness, for hoax report after paper corrects story alleging ex-president pressured Georgia election official. So remember when, there's all this concern that, oh no, Donald Trump is trying to stage a coup and he's telling the people in Georgia, you gotta do something. You gotta stop it. You gotta, oh no, you gotta, all this crazy, Russiagate BS. And thing is, this is going to give, when I'm done with this article, you're going to realize that this has given Trump all the political ammunition and legitimacy to constantly keep on discrediting the media and journalism as a whole. Because again, you have outlets like the Washington Post, making these horrible mistakes and not even realizing the consequences of their deceptive practices. So Donald Trump has hit back at the Washington Post after it corrected an article claiming that the former United States president tried to strong-arm a Georgia official, criticizing the report as an example of biased journalism. The now discredited story published in January alleged that Trump had instructed the state's top election investigator to find the fraud that led to Democratic Joe Biden's election victory and that she would be a national hero if she did. But on Monday, the paper issued a lengthy correction after an audio recording of the conversation showed that Trump said no such things. Oh my goodness, incompetency at the highest order. The Post admitted that it misquoted Trump based on information provided by a source. Now, I'm not asking for the source's name, but Washington Post. And you have the resources. You have the resources to really look into this. You have more resources than Hardlands Media or any other independent media network. You're telling me that you couldn't have someone sit down and listen to this audio conversation and really listen to it thoroughly? That source screwed you over at the highest order.
So just really quick, isn't the standard for mainstream media 2 sources?
2 or more. 2 or more, because you got to make sure you get everything correct. When we've done a lot of field reporting, we've had at least 1 or 2, at least 2 to 3 other sources responding to us or confirming, like, hey, here's what's happening at this protest. Hey, here's what's happening at this rally. Here's what's happening at this conference. I mean, it's just it's madness. So responding to the Washington Post correction, Trump said that while he appreciated that the error had been fixed, the story had been a hoax from the start. So if Trump chooses to run in 2024,
you keep giving him more ammunition.
He has this under his belt. He'll have this in his hip back pocket saying, hey, corporate media said this, but oh no, they didn't do their work. He's going to say that they don't know what they're doing. It's going to discredit journalism even further. And it's going to make independent media's job. Well, if one, it will add more for us, but at the same time too, because we're journalists, because what we do is fundamentally important, it's going to also put us in the same stupid club that corporate media is, because corporate media, a lot of people pay attention to it, and because of the Washington Post recklessness right here, it's going to really hurt a lot of independent journalists too in the long run. A strong democracy requires a fair and honest press. This latest media's travesty underscores that the legacy media outlets should be regarded as political entities, not journalistic enterprises, the former president said. He further claimed that the errors, omissions, mistakes, and outright lies by establishment media always target himself and other Republicans, while stories that are damaging to Democrats are buried or delayed until they are deemed harmless. And again, let's bring up, I don't know, Cuomo. Cuomo and the 15,000 dead New York senior citizens, human beings who died under his administration's horrible policies. That was Andrew Cuomo. But the thing is, independent media was talking about it. But corporate media, they were swooned by Cuomo's fireside chats, and all the while ignoring now the fact that, let's not forget that corporate media also smeared Tara Reid when she called out, I was a victim of Biden's harassment and abuse. And corporate media smeared her.
Yes.
And let's not forget how corporate media went after Bernie Sanders supporters, or how corporate media smeared Tulsi Gabbard, or how corporate media says that third parties only help Republicans, and so much more.
And I just saw that Andrew Yang is now getting speared by corporate media.
Oh, wow. See, it's all laughs and jokes. But see, again, this is what's going to help Trump. And the thing is, like, at this point, corporate media, you did this to yourselves. And you keep doing this because I think they like being abused by Trump. I think there's a
they like the money he gets from clicks. So But the point of this is that I mean, Kid already said a lot of this. Doing this hurts the idea of media as a brand of people that are trying their best. Like, we're trying our best with the very limited funding we have to keep everything going and keep our facts accurate. The Washington Post just publishes this giant article saying that Trump does X when he doesn't, from a single source, when they need to be doing at least two sources by their own metrics, and they have to publish this long retraction. But as we know, retractions never get seen or clicked on as much as the original article. So you really have to just like not do it to begin with, as much as you can possibly do it. And this was an oversight where they were clearly like, well, this sounds like what I think Trump would do. Well, so that's what he's going to do. And it's like, and we're not saying that like, oh, wow, we had no idea Trump would. It's like, yeah, if we saw that, we might also say, yeah, that sounds like Trump. But we wouldn't then publish it because one person said they had one interpretation. That's just lazy journalism. That's not really journalism. That's just propaganda at that point. And you'd hurt yourself in the long run. So what's the point?
You know, there's another thing too we're going to bring up. That when the Washington Post did this article, so many other media outlets were promoting the same thing too. And let's not forget, especially at the height of the 2020 general election, how you had certain other larger independent media networks saying, "Oh yeah, we got to support Biden. Look at this. Trump is doing this," and Trump didn't do it. If Trump chooses to run in 2024, he's going to smack around corporate media. Corporate media is going to be a good little prostitute and take it. And at the same time, too, they'll be able to get their money again because, man, he's their cocaine. Yeah. And this is something that's going to fuel Trump. He's going to come back again. And he has every right to smack around the Washington Post. I mean, you know, let's not forget that Washington Post in 2016 did 16 negative articles about Bernie Sanders in one day. Yeah. And we were in Philly when that was going down.
I remember that.
I remember that day. This is just madness. And again, this is the same corporate media, again, turning a blind eye to the negligence that Governor Cuomo did towards the senior citizens, the 15,000 that died. You know, we talked about it. And only now corporate media is finally catching up to it. Corporate media does a lot of cover fire for the Biden administration. I mean, let's face it, the kids are still in cages. People are not getting their stimulus checks. You have people still being evicted from their homes. But if this was happening under Trump, oh boy, would they be printing articles left, right, up and down and center. This is the incompetence of corporate media. This is why we need to have independent media. This is why we need to break away the monopolies that control our media so that we can actually have a real free and fair press that's going to hold all politicians and those in the top percent accountable for their actions and their policies that they're implementing on all of us. If you're not angry, I don't know what's going to make you angry, because this Washington Post article, them now admitting like, oh yeah, we made a mistake. They don't understand the consequences and repercussions of what's going to happen in 2022 and in 2024. And the thing is, Democrats, you did this to yourselves. Corporate media, you did this to yourselves. And I'm not going to vote Democrat. I'm sure as heck not going to vote Republican. We need to look at another option. We need to break these monopolies, and people need to start getting angry.